Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today and welcome you to my reading to explore the zodiac sign Cancer. I first off want to apologize for the abrupt nature of not posting or going on live last Friday, and moving my Sunday reading. I ended up feeling not well on Friday and I couldn't shake it. And I needed to take some time for me. And I know many of you reached out to me to check in on me because that's not normally me. I'm usually here and I'm usually on when I say I'm going to be. So thank you so much for reaching out to me. I am okay. It just kind of took me by surprise. I think Gemini, Mercury retrograde, and all of what I've been dealing with life in COVID caught up to me on the weekend. So, taking it slow today, and I want to enjoy this reading and just have some fun in the Cancer energy. Castor and Pollock have gone back down, and we are able to enjoy this Cancer energy that is starting to take hold. Yes, I know it's one of the longest days of the year. Yesterday was summer solstice, and it was a very long day for many of us. And today, well, it's going to be a longer day as well because we've gone to that crescendo and now we're working backwards. Well, we're not going to be able to see Cancer as well as other zodiac signs. However, that gentle energy is going to wash over us, especially if we're open to it. I don't know about you, but I need that reprieve. And we're going to see it this week. Something that would have come up in my reading is we started the week off with that very strong and dominant masculine energy of Father's Day. We went on throughout the day into summer solstice. And then we're looking at Mercury going direct on Wednesday. We're seeing that kind of busy, rumbling, chaotic energy start to wash away now. And I need that. I know I need that. I'm sure you guys need it just as much as I do. That deep, clear breath. Now, Father's Day is interesting. I've had many conversations with clients recently on how man-made events like Father's Day, Mother's Day, and Mother's Day, interestingly enough, actually appears in different calendars. In the United Kingdom, they celebrate that back in March, not May. Yet we can still embrace that energy in both months. Why? Because a large group of individuals are focused in on it. Sometimes these energies, that large group of people start to really invest time and their personal energies in, amplifying it and really drawing attention to it, we can be more impacted by it than what we can from that higher vibration, from the astrological realm, from the cosmos, from the high vibrational beings, because it's right here, right now. All I have to say is one word to you guys: Christmas. Whew. We all know that energy, that go, 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 go energy. And then it starts to keep building and building and building. And then it pops on Christmas Day. Every year. Because we have such a large number of individuals focused in on it. The same is true. Maybe not to the same extent, of course, because there's not such a buildup to Father's Day. But we have that very intent and direct energy focused in on that masculine. It doesn't matter if you have a good or not so good relationship with that biological father, we can still draw in these energies in meaningful ways for ourselves. There's a lot of information and a lot to learn about that energy and how we can use it best for our own individual pathways. Remember, What one person says and do may not be right for you. You need to have a little bit of, thought and reflection on self on how that's going to impact you. So yes, you can tap into these energies if you want to or not. So let's get into Cancer, because I totally got off on a side tangent there. The decks I'm using, I had to go, of course, with my Beyond Lemuria deck. This is an oracle deck. It's very kind of oceany water. Of course, there are a few that aren't, but I really thought this was going to be a fantastic deck to start working with Cancer energy. And then I was drawn back to my Crystal Visions Tarot. I used the same deck in my Gemini reading. And I really contemplated, should I get a different deck? But I kept coming back to it. I learned years ago not to question when that happens. So we have it back again. Now, like always, there are links below I think there's links below. If you're live, I don't know how that works, but there will be links below to these decks. So should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Whoop, let's get into this. Let's see what Cancer wants to share. What card represents Cancer and all that it holds for my friends in the upcoming weeks? It's almost a talent to shuffle a deck this big because they're monstrosities now. I love the fact you get so much artwork, but when you have small hands, it's not that much fun. Endless opportunities. Such a beautiful card. I love the butterflies in the bubbles. Literally, it's like you just need your finger to pop that, and those opportunities start to radiate and just wash over you. And that's exactly what Cancer wants to remind you of. These opportunities are there. It's up to you to poke them a bit, engage with them, so that you can embrace that transformation, that evolution that is right there. It's all around you and right in front of you. All right, let's see how we can really embrace this. What wisdom, guidance, and insight can we share with my friends so that they are able to engage and embrace the wisdom and insight of Cancer and all that it holds for them? Okay. I love this card. The Page of Wands. Pages are that childlike, innocent energy. They're full of excitement, joy, and enthusiasm. They talk about using that inquisitive energy to explore your world, to explore all that's going on for you and all that's going on around you, including these amazing opportunities. The more open we are and excited we are about possibly shifting our energies, shifting our perspective, the more we're going to get out of Cancer. This is the Page of Wands. Okay, there are 4 pages, obviously, because there's 4 minor arcana. The wands are about that passion, that inner fire that sits in your solar plexus chakra. We need to be tapping into that inner flame, those creative aspects of self. When we give ourselves permission and time to engage in these activities, that's when we're going to get out of our head. We stop ruminating and swirling in what's happening and how am I going to overcome this? I don't know. And you just start to swirl. You don't get anywhere because you're so hyper-focused in on it. When you give yourself permission to spend a little bit of time being in that creative mind, well, you're giving yourself permission to start to open up to that higher vibration, to these opportunities, because you're not directing your energy, your time, your sight onto a problem that you're struggling to solve. We're allowing for more opportunities, more support in overcoming whatever it is we're challenged with. That's why people encourage you when you're stuck on something to go take a break. Well, I'm kicking that up a notch. Go take a break and do something that you love to do, that really rejuvenates you. It doesn't have to be for a long time, but setting that intention, clearing your head, and focusing in on something that isn't the problem. You want to keep your attention on, well, that creativity, that passion, rather than what you're struggling with. Working on that skill will support you in starting to engage with these opportunities, because we're not getting our head caught up in that kind of rat race, head down and go. We start to take the blinders off. We're not so focused in on that linear problem. We're open to more support. We're open to ideas. We're open to other possibilities, because sometimes that solution is right there, but because we have our blinders on, it can be right beside you. You can't see it. You can't grasp it and bring it into fruition and bring it into your everyday. So, allowing yourself to play and have some fun, shifting out of that kind of work, demand, expectation energy into something that's more playful and fun will not only support you in raising your vibration, which of course will help you with engaging with these opportunities, but you're going to feel more invigorated, because you're giving yourself time to do something that you love to do, that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel fulfilled. You're not just getting up, going to work, coming home, or in some cases, coming up the stairs or going into a different room and then going back to bed. You're adding in that fulfillment factor. The Ace of Wands talks about how those ahas come cascading in when you're not focused in on it. You're not only going to get the solutions that you need, you're also going to get some inspiration in other aspects of your life. You're going to be able to kind of start to connect dots in all aspects of your life, helping you to be able to really make that shift that you need in a very meaningful and, well, stable way. We're not jumping into something, because that leads to instability. We inherently will start to self-doubt ourselves and say how bad we are at something. And then our ego flares up, causing us to stumble back. So we've already lost what we've gained. And it pulls us back even further. And we add in added fear because we failed. So the more stable we are in this progression and these shifts, the more change you're going to bring into your life. You have control over what it is that is occurring and what you're doing in your life. I know it sounds crazy, but we do. When we start to really work with our natural abilities, our natural skills, what brings us that joy, that fulfillment, well, that's when things start to go right, because you're not stuck in the, oh, I failed, or I'm not doing it right, or things aren't going the way that they should. You're opening yourself up to what is right there. We need that higher vibration. We need to be focusing in on those inner passions, those things that really get your solar plexus going. They connect into your sacral chakra and you feel amazing doing it. Because not only do you start to create the solutions to the situation that you're dealing with, you're able to light fires in places that you didn't know you could light fires. You connect dots from different aspects of your life together. And when it happens, you're just like, that's always been there? Well, of course that makes sense. It's kind of like when you finally get the solution to say a riddle or a problem. You're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Same thing, right? You're getting out of that kind of heaviness, that residue, that veil that your ego keeps you boxed in on. And you take that deep breath and you can start to, well, literally, where did I see it? Here, there. Expand your wings to take flight. The only thing that holds us back, well, of course, is ourselves. That ego. I can't, I shouldn't, what if? The Two of Cups. I love this rendition of it. So beautiful. I love this deck. Of course, the Two of Cups talks about the relationship. It's not a relationship with external people. Of course, they're really important. Don't get me wrong. We were never meant to be isolated and alone. And when we are on that physical level, when we don't have that physical beings with us, we do feel disconnected. But with Cancer, we're looking at really balancing ourselves out. No matter what gender you identify with, we have feminine and masculine within us. The more balanced we are, the more we are able to create in our lives. Think of it as making a baby. You need that X and you need that, well, Y. You need the masculine and the feminine to add in to that creation. The same is true within us. The more balanced our masculine and feminine are, the more open we are to our intuitive abilities. And of course, our intuitive abilities connects the dots, right? And yes, we all have it. I know there are people and there are misconceptions that, oh, only certain people have this. No, not true. We all do, because we all come from that energetical entity, right? We all come from that higher realm. We've chosen to incarnate. We chose this physical appearance. We chose our family. We've chosen so many things. But that intuitive ability that's up here, right, usually by your third eye. Sometimes people literally have a line from their third eye to their crown. I've seen that when I've done healings as well, especially when people are really working on those intuitive abilities. It's beautiful because you see this kind of purpley color in the third eye chakra, and then it comes up to that white crown chakra that kind of duck here, that kind of sits, it just kind of wobbles above your head. So that intuitive ability is here. We all have it. And like any other ability, we have to strengthen it. If we never use it, which most of us don't, it's going to be pretty hard to use. Think of it as when you first got on a bike. Were you able to get on that bike and roar down the street with control? Probably not. Most of us couldn't. It took time. We usually started off with 3 wheels, then we went and got to a 2-wheeler with the training wheels, and then we progressed. Same is true here. And that's what Cancer wants to support you with. Kind of putting on those training wheels and helping you to connect in to you and your abilities. helping you to connect in to that fulfillment and understanding. The next 4 weeks are going to be amazing for you. It's going to help you so much with not only your own abilities, but starting to connect some dots in your pathway ahead. Now, tomorrow, fingers crossed, Mercury is still in retrograde and I am having all sorts of computer issues. I'm going to be releasing another meditation. This meditation is one I did with Archangel Raziel. And usually my Archangel meditations are at the beginning of the month, not the mid-lower part of the month. But as I was doing my meditations and writing scripts and getting stuff done, they told me, no, it's not going to be the first week. It's not going to be the second week. It has to be on the 20, what was tomorrow, 22. They told me it had to be there. I couldn't figure out why they kept highlighting that date. And now I understand. Archangel Raziel supports us with connecting in to our intuitive abilities. I already have one meditation with him. And that's what we did. We worked on connecting in with your abilities, your intuitive abilities. Tomorrow, I'm going to be releasing one that helps you release the blockages that you have to your abilities. So, a fantastic tool to support you in really engaging with that Cancer energy. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy. I've got lots of supports here. And the best part, they're free. All about the free. So the meditations I'm talking about, I have 3 meditative playlists and 1 mindful playlist that are on my channel that have meditations and tools that are going to support you. You can visit and revisit them as much as you want. And all my meditations are guided meditation. So you don't have to try and just sit there and clear your mind in a quiet space for 30 minutes. I can't do that. I get sidetracked and I start to connect into the other high vibrational beings that are around. I don't live alone. I have children. I have a husband. They're high vibrational beings everywhere. So that guided meditation really supports me in, releasing and kind of releasing the reins a bit here and focusing in on what I want to do. And that's exactly why all my meditations are guided, not just, all right, for the next 30 minutes, we're going to listen to this Om music. Go. Yeah, not going to happen. Oh, just being directed. I do have in my Just You and Me playlist 2 months ago, I believe, I brought out balancing the masculine and feminine, the divine masculine and feminine within us. It's another meditation that would really help you with bringing balance within yourself and strengthening you to take on and embrace some of these amazing opportunities that are coming forward in the next 4 weeks. Such a beautiful card, the Star. Of course, the Star is the 17th card in the Major Arcana, and it helps us with our hopes and dreams. Helps us to keep our eyes up rather than getting that head down position and not paying attention. We need that intention and attention to what we're doing. And the Star reminds us of that. She also reminds us of the importance of being balanced. She has 1 foot on the water, and anytime you see in tarot or oracle water, you're looking at that intuitive high vibrational energy. And then she has 1 foot on the land. Of course, that physical energy, that physical realm. She's balancing herself very easily and gracefully on both, reminding us of the need to balance things out. We don't want to hyper-focus in on this because we will miss out on what's happening in our physical realm right now. Additionally, she is pouring water, that energy, her energy, onto the physical plane and that spiritual high vibrational plane. Reminding us again, we need to be mindful and kind of balance out our day. We want to get those work aspect pieces done because, well, we need to pay the bills, right? But at the same time, giving ourselves some time. It doesn't have to be big chunks of time. Little bits actually add up a lot more than those bigger chunks. When you consistently give yourself, say, 30 minutes in a day, let's be honest, 30 minutes is pretty easy. We usually shower for 30 minutes, right? So giving yourself 30 minutes in a day, you can embrace some amazing time, consistent time for you, for working on some of these added and kind of spiritual, high vibrational stuff while still maintaining all the expectations and demands of your day. We just, again, need to balance things out. Because when we do, we'll see that that 30 minutes is pretty easy. You might even want to expand it. Well, on certain days, I might even give myself an hour, right? It's important to make sure that we're not burying our head and just existing. We want to make sure that we're engaging and embracing this lifetime and learning all that we can. The Ace of Cups. Aces, well, they're a gift. That cup, we're looking at that intuition. Giving ourselves this time to work on our intuition will not only make us feel better, because we start to feel stronger. We're able to connect into that authentic you. We feel more fulfilled in what it is we're doing because, well, there's meaning to it. We start to see and embrace these opportunities more fully. And that transformation and evolution of that butterfly that is kind of encased in this opportunity washes over you and supports you. So Cancer has so many amazing blessings for us. The Seven of Cups. Earlier, I talked about this. I talked about how we kind of get stuck in that little box that our ego puts us in, and we're not able to see clearly. The Seven of Cups. And our ego likes to remind us that we could make the wrong decision. Well, what if I told you there wasn't a wrong decision? What if I told you that instead of it being right or wrong, there are learning opportunities? All seven of the cups, which they're kind of all on the bottom here, all of them will give you different learning opportunities. Some allow you to really start to challenge those patterns, break free of things that aren't serving you, while others may be a little bit more passive. It's not a right or wrong. It's more, what are you going to learn now? What is your next learning opportunity? And that's how that mindset shift can support us in opening ourselves up even more. We're getting out of this black and white thinking, and we're getting into that rainbow thinking. There's color, there's depth and dimension in all the opportunities that are right here. We just need to take that time, that breath, and engage in it. It's another part of what Cancer wants to remind you of, the importance of actually doing. It's one thing to say, that is a fantastic idea. I'm going to do that. If you never actually do, it doesn't matter if you're thinking about doing it. You need to actually engage with it. Engage in your life, in all that it offers you, no matter how challenging that learning opportunity is. Slowing down, being present for you, and embracing what's going on for you right here and right now. And then when you start to do that, you can look at, okay, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. How can I change what isn't working for me that I don't really resonate with? Because again, you have control of that. We're kind of conditioned to believe we don't, but we do. We have the ability to make very high vibrational choices for us that will help us to either move past or release what's not working. Sure, it might take time. Sure, it might take a lot of intention and some, grease, elbow grease. You might have to work at it. But it's you doing something for you. The Two of Swords. Decisions must be made, guys. Like I said, you're the one in control. You're the one that needs to make the choice. What do you want to do? How do you want to take this information? And more importantly, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to learn and grow with the support of the energies that are going to occur in the next 4 weeks? Because the energies are very different than that of May. And you find that in each month, they're very different. Even year to year. Mercury retrograde falls in different times. You have different solar and lunar eclipses. You have different events occurring globally. Last year we had Mercury retrograde in October, which really threw people for a loop when it came to the thinning of the veil. It was all sorts of nuts. So this year, we don't have that. Thank gosh. We just are finishing up Mercury retrograde. And we have one more left this year. It's later in the year. I think it actually starts in November. I could be wrong. I haven't planned that far ahead yet. But back to that decision. It's a decision for you. My suggestion, get out of the heart space and get into that head space. Partake in some meditation, partake in some grounding. The more grounded and centered you are, the more you're going to be able to use the frontal cortex, so this front part of your brain, which is for problem solving and solution making. You're not getting caught in the what ifs and that heartache of pain and fear. This is the Two of Swords. Swords are about knowledge. We as humanity place the emotion on the swords. The swords do not place the emotion themselves. They're cold, hard steel. So use your head, get into your Vulcan mind, and start to look at that. Critically think about what's going on for you. What do you like? What don't you like? I'd also encourage you to start to write these things down. Stay away from the technology because our ego can and will impact and manipulate your computer, your phone, your tablet. Your ego really struggles to impact you and your pencil or pen. I encourage people to have what's called a spiritual binder. So you can use and really use that binder to your advantage. You can add in sections, you can add in whatever you want. You're not limited down to space. You're not limited to that little format of the spiritual journals that you see floating around. Get yourself a good binder. Decorate it however you want. Don't decorate it. Just have it as binder. Whatever resonates with you. But have that as a place that you can put down thoughts, ideas, feelings, symbols, messages, repeated words. If you start seeing repeated words, put it down on, May 12th. I kept seeing the word no, right? Whatever. Repeated numbers, license plates, phone numbers, numbers on your computer. And yes, the high vibrational beings can impact your computer as well, right? So write them down. Have another section for reflection on you. What don't you like? And just don't say, I don't like the fact of I don't have enough money. Okay, so your finances might be a problem. List it, but be specific. What don't you like? And then what do you like? Right? And yes, it can be one of those things where you're like, I love my kids when they're listening. That we can't change others. Okay, this is just about you. So yes, you may love your children, you may love your family. Yes, they may aggravate and frustrate you to the nth degree. But know that that's not something you can change. You can only change you. You can change your perspective. You can change the way that you react and interact with others. So go from that perspective. Sure, you love them, but we balance it out, two sides of the coin, right? But what else do you like? And I would suggest doing it on two separate pieces of paper so that you can start to add to it. Because it's really hard to sit down and reflect on what we like about our situation and ourselves, especially in the beginning. Because a lot of times we like to beat ourselves up and we don't see those positives, those skills, those abilities. But as you progress and as you start to reaffirm that you can do this, so you start to take that big snowball of problem, the things you don't like, and you start to tick them apart, like pull out the little snowflakes, and that snowball starts to kind of go down. You're reaffirming and confirming with you that you can do this. It's not about anybody else. It's about ourselves. Okay? So taking that time, and that's what Cancer is really encouraging you to do. Slow down and start to take things apart. Work on you, balancing you and your world. We started on Wands. We're going to end off on Wands. The Six of Wands. Now, sixes in tarot are all about balance and harmony. Again, we get back to that balance, right? That harmony within. Now, the Six of Wands, it's a bit different. It talks about being victorious. When you use your willpower and your drive, that inner flame, that solar plexus energy, you can start to really pull apart that snowball. You can conquer that challenge. You're going to overcome your problems and be very victorious and standing proud, getting that work done that needs to be done. And you're the one doing it. You really feel that fulfillment, that achievement. That's why the universe doesn't do it for us. The high vibrational beings just don't fix it because we don't have that achievement. We don't have that connection to what happened. And that's part of why we're kind of struggling and learning, and we go through this lifetime, is learning that lesson, breaking those patterns, starting to get back to what's meaningful and fulfilling. All right, we're going to end off on some blessings on how we can embrace Cancer. So my friends who are with me live, if you guys want to start writing any questions that you may have for me, that way I can, it's not at the end, we're looking and waiting for people to possibly write. So if you have any questions, that's part of why I went to a live format, so I can start answering them like live firsthand. What blessings can my friends embrace during the reign of Cancer? And if anybody knows why we named the disease cancer, please let me know. I've never Googled it, but every time I do a reading for Cancer, I think about it. Because as I was typing the title of this live Cancer reading, I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound so good. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a crazy thing I come across as I'm reading. I love it. Transformation. Pretty much sums up the whole reading, doesn't it? And then it also puts perspective into the whole reading. I've been reading for almost 40 minutes and one card, transformation. That's exactly what Cancer's wanting to support you with. That transformation, that evolution, that progression for you. The violet flame. Now, if any of my friends who are Reiki masters, they know about the violet flame. The violet flame is an energetical source that we use to support ourselves in healing. It can clear out some really low vibrational, gunky residue quite quickly with very limited challenge, and it doesn't leave any lasting effects. Sometimes when we do energetical healings, if you dive too deep, it can leave some soreness, some stiffness, and it can be a lot more work for the practitioner. Many people who are masters, like myself, we've been attuned to the violet flame, so it's more enjoyable for you and for the practitioner. What the Cancer zodiac is trying to convey here is that we need to dive down deep. We need to kind of shake free some of those really deep-rooted thoughts and beliefs that we have and start to release them. It's not going to be an easy process. However, when we use tools that we have right at our hand, we can start to make some of those shifts that are going to be long-lasting. We're degunking ourselves, and we're breaking free of some of those patterns that aren't serving us, some of those beliefs and expectations that we have that are holding us back. Communication, co-creation. Reminding you that we are not alone. We never have been. I know sometimes, like I said, we feel when we're not around physical people that we are alone. Well, actually, that's the furthest from the truth. When physically we're not with people, that's when our spiritual support team really beefs up and we have more beings supporting us and trying to nurture and love us because we feel lost and unsure. It's really important that we reach out not only to that high vibrational support team, but to our physical support team. A lot of times when we're struggling, we just think that people should know somehow. Well, they might on some level. However, they have their own expectations, their own demands that they're dealing with. It's really important that we take that time and use our words. Ask for the help we need. Even if we don't know what it is we really need, asking for it. Using our words and saying, I'm struggling right now. Can you please help me? You'll be surprised at how people will stop what they're doing to try and help you figure out that next best course of action for you. And it might just be knowing that they are there for you and that they are encouraging you to take those opportunities, start to learn, start to expand your wings and take flight in this amazing experience that we have in this lifetime. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that this video helped you to kind of have a better understanding of how you can use this energy that the Zodiac Cancer is going to provide for you over the next 4 weeks. Cancer rises high tonight in the sky, and we can start engaging and embracing this energy right here and right now. Well, I'll have to do some housekeeping. I really hate doing this, and I don't do it very often, but if you did like this video, please remember to subscribe and hit that little like button. It does help to expand my channel. It also helps me to expand all those amazing people and beings that I can start to connect in with, well, through the sea of YouTube. Also, if you did like this video, I do have a Patreon page where I give some added support and love to those who support me in creating this content for you. I have provided a link below so you can go check it out. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you, well, tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be catching up on my readings, and I will be providing the live session for the full Strawberry Moon this month. So tomorrow will be my full Strawberry Moon live reading at the same time, and I can't wait to see you. Until tomorrow, my friends.